Hi, preschool friends, Miss Holokai. Um, Today I wanted to read a book about insects because I see that um, Ruby's out there in her garden and she's inspecting potato bugs and caterpillars, and Rylan, he's raising caterpillars, and Mr. Stormer, he went out to the garden and checked out uh, how the plants are doing, and I'm sure there are a lot of insects in those big planter boxes. So I wanted to do a story about an insect, the honeybee. Now, talking about insects, there's a way that you can tell if a creepy crawly thing is an insect. Okay? So the first thing is they have 6 legs. 6. Okay? They usually have 3 on one side and 3 on the other. Another way to tell if it's an insect is the body parts. They usually have 3 body parts. They have the head, they have the thorax, and then they have the abdomen. 3 body parts. And they have these things right here. Anybody know what those are called? Antennae. They help the bees and the other insects figure out where to go, direction. It's kind of like we have 5 senses. This is one of their senses, is the antenna. And most of the time they will lay eggs, which will hatch into little larvae, and then they grow up into the adult insect. So, think about some insects. What are some insects that you know? A fly. A fly is definitely an insect. Or, let me think. A ladybug. Remember the ladybug story? A ladybug is an insect. But think about a spider. Is a spider an insect? No. Because a spider has 8 legs, right? They don't have antennae, and I think they only have 2 main body parts. So a spider is actually an animal called an arachnid. An arachnid. It's not an insect. So bees, you'll see them coming out since it's springtime, and the flowers and the trees and the grasses are growing. Bees are super important to everyone, to animals, to plants, to humans, because they help things grow. If it weren't for bees, we wouldn't have vegetables and fruits and things like that. They help pollinate all of those plants. When they go from flower to flower, that pollen, that it looks like yellow dust, it sticks to their bodies, and then when they hop to the other flower, it falls off on that flower, and it helps the flower grow. And they make honey, right? I love honey. I love putting honey in my tea. I love putting honey in my oatmeal. Sometimes when I have toast, I'll use honey instead of jelly. And honey, did you know honey is actually bee spit? They use their nectar and the bee spit, and it gets all thick, and it's in those honeycombs. It's bee spit, but it's delicious, I'm telling you. And there are different kinds of bees. Bees have different jobs. There's the queen, and she's super big. She's a lot bigger than the other bees, and it's her job just to make babies. And then you've got the worker bees, and they work super hard. They go out and they get the nectar from the flowers. They make the honeycomb with the beeswax, and they make the little combs where the baby eggs go in there, and they live in there. They make the honey. If any other insects try to invade the hive, they'll defend the hive. Yeah. So bees are super cool. I really like bees. And today the story is called Bee Dance. And the author, the guy who wrote it, and he's also the illustrator, the guy who drew the pictures, his name is Rick Schratowski. Bee Dance. When sunlight warms your honeybee wings, off you go on flower patrol. So there's the beehive. Now that's a man-made beehive. Little boxes, and there's the sleeves that they pull out with the the honeycomb on it, but they can make hives in trees just by themselves, but a lot of times bees like using these. Follow a sweet scent floating on air to find a honeybee gold mine. So he's searching for that nectar. Do you see some other insects in there? Look, I see a ladybug and a grasshopper. A prairie in bloom. Look at all those flowers. So a prairie is like a piece of flat land that a lot of times there's wild grasses and wildflowers. Sip sugary nectar with your bendy straw tongue. Yum! So he's sipping up that sweet nectar, the sweet juice in the flower. And the bendy straw tongue he's talking about, it's called a proboscis. It rolls up. And then when he wants to sip the nectar, it rolls out like this. And he goes, isn't that cool? Race home. Climb the beeswax comb. Excitement buzzes all around. The other bees know that you have news. I wonder what the news is. Do the waggle dance, honeybee. Make a figure 8. Twirl in a circle. Wag your body up the middle run. Then twirl around the other side. Buzz, buzz, buzz. So the way bees communicate, the way they talk to each other, they don't have mouths like you and I do. They can't talk, right? So what they do is they do special dances to let the other bees know, hey man, I found some really good flowers. Come with me and we'll go get some more nectar. And the way they do that is a special waggle dance. Isn't that cool? So if they go up the honeycomb, that means they need to go toward the sun. That way, if they go down the honeycomb, they need to go away from the sun. And how long they waggle lets the bees know how far out the flowers are. That's amazing, isn't it? Waggle faster, honeybee. Buzz louder. Your dance points the way to the prairie. How long you waggle your body tells the others how far to go. Now the bees know just where to fly. There they go. They're all going together. Soon they see flowers reaching toward the sky. Go to work, forager bees. Collect nectar to make honey. Stuff pollen into baskets on your hind legs. So see those little yellow dots? Those are the pollen baskets, where they collect the pollen and they go from flower to help pollinate it. Because there are seeds inside those flowers, and they need that pollen to be able to grow. If they don't get that pollen, they can't grow. Stay out late. Oh, they're working really, really hard. Carry your heavy prize back to the hive. The last glow of sunset lights the way home. So they've gathered enough nectar. They're on their way back to the hive. Unload your cargo and store it in the combs, then settle in for the night. Gotta go to sleep. When you wake up, warm your honeybee wings in the morning sun and dance the prairie jitterbug once again. And then they do it all over again. But do you see the body parts on the bee? How like there's the head, there's the thorax, there's the abdomen. Oh, and insects have wings too. I forgot they have wings. And then look at the legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's the antenna right there. That's how you can tell an insect. The end. Love me some bees. If I ever hit the lottery, I am going to buy a big farm and then I'm going to raise honeybees. That's my plan, my long range plan. Okay, have a great day. Bye.